for you all. And, you know, just because of personal issues and health issues, they had to step back, but they still are very much open to, you know, any help that we need. And, you know, we have open dialogue with them. So just want to take a moment to thank them. And then I'd like to, it's my pleasure to welcome our new officers. I'll start with Tawana Rivers. She's our new Vice President of BIGI. And Tawana, I'll also go ahead and introduce Rob Morton. He's our new secretary. And I want to give each of them a moment to kind of introduce themselves to you guys. So you guys have the floor.
You got it, Tawana.
Okay. Well, hello, everyone. You know, I'm not a stranger at this point to anyone. I am Tawana Rivers. And my background is in human resources. I'm a little shy of 30 years in that industry. And I am super, super excited to bring my skill set and my motivation to BIGI. I believe in the vision that we've set forward. We're excited to get going. You know, I feel like we've spent the last 6 months or so just setting everything up and getting prepared for all of the wonderful things that we're going to do. So I'm super, super excited about that. And you know, I look forward to meeting you all at some point, either at the conference in November or when we have our own BIGI conference. And so, you know, just super excited, just really happy to be here, happy to be involved, and ready to get my hands dirty.
Well, we so much, Tawana. We're just so excited to have you. And Rob, if you'd like to take a moment to introduce yourself.
Yeah, I worked for AT&T Wireless for good 23 years or more. And I'm supposed to be retired, but I'm not because I'm still working. So, and I'm used to solving problems. There's something called a switch or PBX. And that's what I worked on at AT&T. I've got a lot of time in that. In fact, I'm sick of it, so I'm looking for something different. And because again, like I say, I like to solve problems. And so that's where I am now. And I'm happy to be here. And I'm very excited about this position and what we're about to do here in BIGI. I'm very excited about BIGI. So I'm happy to be here.
Well, thank you so much, Robin. Again, we're so happy to have you as well. You all's energy is you know, really contagious, and I'm just really fortunate, really blessed to have our team together. So next thing I'd like to touch on is I know I've got a lot of questions about when are we going to start our monthly contribution. Everybody's, you know, really excited and ready to move forward with that, and I understand that. You know, the whole reason that BIGI came into existence was for us to build generational wealth. And how are we going to build generational wealth when we're not contributing yet? So I just want to kind of, you know, explain what the delay is. Let me first start by saying I just won't take a penny from you guys until everything is in place and it is done correctly. So, you know, we went through the whole period of having the SEC consultation, and, you know, we did all of that. We had an SEC attorney, then we had an SEC consultant who then gave us what our structure should be. And from that point, you know, it seemed a very simple thing just to set up the entity and, you know, move forward. And when you set up an entity, it really opens up a lot of doors, because when you set up the entity, now you are able to open up your bank account. There's lots of financial things that must be done when you're moving forward with a business or with an investment club that you cannot do if you're not an entity. So I say all that to say, I did move forward and set up an entity, and I have to tell you, I made some mistakes. And when I realized the mistakes I made, I had to unwind it. I brought in another attorney. We were very fortunate. We are very fortunate to have a fantastic attorney amongst our members, attorney Angela Green. And Angela was able to recommend one of her colleagues who would go back and, you know, fix everything so that it would be perfect. You know, my training is in medicine. I'm not a lawyer. I kind of bit off a little more than I can chew in terms of setting up the entity, and it just wasn't right. And, you know, if it's not right, you know, I'm not going to have you guys putting forth investments if we can't do it in the right way. So I take 100% responsibility for that. However, it's being addressed as we speak. This attorney is working on it. It should not take him very much longer to complete our entity setup. And so that's where that is. And that's why we have not yet begun to accept the monthly contribution. Next, and I'm going to run this meeting as a question and answer format. So I'm basically just kind of running through some things, some issues, and then we can talk about it after I kind of go through my list. Another reason why, you know, we kind of had to pump the brakes on accepting the monthly contribution is because we've had so much transition. You know, we really needed to get our officers, you know, together on the same page. I really did not want, you know, funds coming in when we were really in transition. As you can see, we have a new vice president, we have a new secretary, we do not have a new treasurer. Sandra Reed was an absolutely phenomenal treasurer, and she has been extraordinarily difficult to replace. The treasurer position is not an unskilled position. I mean, you really have to have a solid understanding of accounting and finances. And so what we have decided to do is to hire an outside accountant. So we're interviewing some accounting firms right now. And so as soon as the entity is completely set up, that accounting and treasury function will also be in place, and then we can move forward and start our monthly investments. And the last thing I want to touch on before we start Q&A is our conference. And you guys have, you know, heard us talking for the last many months about the conference that's going to be happening in Baltimore on November 2nd and 3rd. And we are absolutely just over the moon excited to have partnered with the Black Blockchain Consultants to do this conference. Why are we doing a conference? Well, as many of you may know, BIGI is limited by the SEC as to how we can attract members. And so, you know, we can't put out email blasts, we can't advertise on Facebook. You know, that is a big no-no with the SEC. So by BIGI choosing to partner and co-sponsor the conference, it has really given us a very wide audience of potential members. We are going to have a panel discussion that's going to be run by myself. It's a BIGI panel discussion. And that panel discussion is going to be streamed to thousands of people all over the internet. We are also updating and recreating our website. So that will be launched, you know, simultaneously with the conference. So we're really, you know, pushing hard to attract additional members, because we are going to be a force in the blockchain and crypto world, but we can't really move in the circles that we need to move in unless we have the money behind us. And that money will come from attracting new members and additional members. So we have a very solid footing. We're a very attractive group. And, you know, we have made the decision to, you know, sponsor this, help co-sponsor this conference in order to raise our profile. So with that, with all the other things, with the conference that we're sponsoring and the website, we have worked on our logo, and I would like to give Lynn Mosley full credit for the logo because he designed it and we absolutely love it. So I'm going to ask Tawana if she wouldn't mind sharing the new BIGI logo.
Okay, so I practiced sharing my screen today. Let's see if I know what I'm doing.
All right, drum roll, please.
Okay, hold on, let me see if I can figure this out. Can you guys see it?
Well, it's still loading. So it says
Okay.
you've started sharing, and there it is. There it is.
That's our new logo. And for those who received the newsletter, we're going to put that logo on a polo shirt on the left chest area, and it's going to be embroidered. So that beautiful gold will stand out on the black polo shirt.
And that is the BIGI logo. So, you know, I'm hoping that you guys love it as much as we do.
That's very nice. It's very nice.
Yeah, Lynn did an amazing job with that.
Yeah,
absolutely, absolutely. So with that, I'm going to go on to question and answers unless you guys have something you'd like to add before.
The only thing I had to add is that, you know, we still are looking for committee members.
Mm-hmm.
It's important. I think I said on the last meeting, it's important that we have all hands on deck. So we've got a wonderful group that has come together on the marketing committee, and we've been working for the last month or so on getting things organized, with the conference being our first goal, and then to look at BIGI as a whole, to see how we market ourselves to a broader audience. And so thank you to all of the marketing committee members that are out there watching and that will watch the replay. We could not do any of this without you guys. We also still have the new member outreach committee that we need to get going. We've got the SEC research committee. You know, we talked on one of the calls previously about the fact that we really need to think about how we take BIGI to the next level. And that SEC registration is going to be the key for us. But we need to understand if it's going to be beneficial the way we think it is. We need to understand the process. We need to understand the cost, all of those things. So we really need a couple of people who have a passion for research to come in and help us with that. We've also got the hot seat pitch committee. You know, once we start bringing deals to the table, be it traditional stock deals or crypto deals or blockchain company deals, we need to vet those ideas. We then need to organize with the, you know, in the event it's a company, we need to organize with them to be able to present to the membership body. And so we need a group of people willing to help with that. And we also need an accounting and budget and finance team to, you know, Kayron mentioned that we were going to outsource our accounting work, but we still need someone to be there to make sure we're auditing, to make sure we're talking about the budget, so that we're making sure we're spending the team's money responsibly. And I can tell you firsthand, Kayron doesn't play. She's very vigilant with our money, and I respect her and I appreciate her for that. She's very, very vigilant and conservative with the money she spends, which is another reason she hasn't taken our money prematurely. So thank you for that, Kayron.
I'm tight. So, and so with that, I'm going to open up for questions. So I'm looking here.
I saw one question. Nell H asked how many active members were in BIGI, and I was pulling up the spreadsheet when you were talking, and I believe there are 198 paid members. Now, Rob is in the process of reconciling the paid members to the DocuSign completed paperwork, and that'll give us our final true number, because we do know some people may have paid, but then decided they didn't want to continue. So it's very possible that we can have less completed DocuSign documentation, but the two of those things together in our mind makes a committed member. The payment, the annual $300 payment, plus the completed paperwork. So we'll give you an update to those numbers once Rob finishes his reconciliation.
Tawana, I've actually finished it.
Oh, perfect. Wonderful.
It's in your mailbox. I just sent it to you.
Okay, I'll take a look at that.
Fabulous.
I don't mess around.
He doesn't. Rob doesn't play.
So I'm still looking for questions. Anybody have any questions for us? I know you do. Next question. Is it possible to get the logo picture sent to our email?
We can add it to, I don't know why we can't add it to the next newsletter. Oh, we need to talk about newsletter frequency, Kayron, also. We need to give them the update about that. But there's no reason why we can't actually include it as a logo on our next newsletter and going forward.
Okay, and I'm glad you brought up the newsletter. So, you know, everybody, you know, what we have found is that, you know, we think that the newsletter twice weekly is excessive. I think that if every time you look in your email, you see yet another newsletter from BIGI, I think that it becomes kind of noise. So what we've decided to do is to really decrease the frequency and have the BIGI newsletter come out once per month. So that way, when you see the newsletter, it is full of relevant information, and you look forward to the newsletter as opposed to kind of seeing it and bypassing it. So that will be the new frequency for the newsletter. Let's see. I have questions. It says, can you send out the link for DocuSign?
So the DocuSign closed on the August 15th date. What we gave it to the end of the month even, I think. We gave it to August 31st. We extended it. And so that process closed for DocuSign. So are you asking for that link because you don't think you sent it in, or is your paperwork incomplete? Give us more information.
Okay. So we'll wait for that information, but I'll move on to the next question. I am not knowledgeable regarding blockchain. Does it make sense for me to attend the conference? Absolutely. That is the main reason to attend the conference. This is not going to be a conference that's going to be geared only to technical people. If that were the case, then I certainly would not be there. But we will be talking about, well, actually, Tawana, why don't you talk more about what's going to happen at the conference?
So I wish Cherie was on, because nobody can talk about this conference the way she can. But Cherie has put together a wonderful weekend for us. She's got some sponsors that are going to be there. She's got people in the space that are making money actively in the blockchain space. There's a fun 2 days of learning about the blockchain technology, learning about the various use cases, you know, from how you utilize it in my arena of HR to how people use it in supply chain. I mean, we've got a ton of use cases to share. It's going to be a fun event as well, so it's not all serious. There are going to be some games. Dr. Keisha's on here with us tonight. I see her in the participants list. She's got some wonderful things planned for us from an education standpoint. The Black Blockchain consultants are going to talk about what they can offer in the realm of giving people ideas on how to enter this space, even if you're not a tech guru. So I think it's a perfect space for someone who is an average person wanting to learn about it. Even if you don't want to learn about it to make income from it, you want to learn about it just to build your knowledge, that's the place you want to be.
You know, I also want to add, you know, in as much as our investment strategy focuses on cryptocurrencies and blockchains and things of that nature, you always want to be knowledgeable about what you're investing in. So, you know, even if you're not interested, you know, in you know, becoming involved as an you know, as an employee or whatever in the blockchain space, you definitely want to have as much knowledge about it, you know, before you put any money in it.
And if I can add something to that, if you really want to know what's going on, a good thing to do is to join one of the committees. There you will learn. Absolutely. And the best way to learn anything is to immerse yourself in it. The way you can immerse yourself in this is to join one of the committees. You'll learn despite yourself.
Okay.
Very good point, Rob.
Okay, and not the least of which is that I want to meet you. So come out so we can meet you. Okay, next question. what is the total expense of our sponsorship of the conference? So we're sponsoring the conference. We're doing $3,000 toward the sponsorship of the conference. So that's our contribution to the conference as BIGI.
And what that gains us is it gains us a marketing platform. So we get to have, we're sponsoring the charging stations. So our logo and everything will be up at those. So that BIGI will have visibility there. We're also going to have a vendor table set up that will be, set up with a couple of games. And so we'll be engaging participants there, or conference attendees there. And then as Kayron mentioned, we've got that panelist discussion that will take place as well. So it's a wonderful opportunity for us to market BIGI so that we can gain additional members. For anyone who's been around from the beginning, Sandra gave us a spreadsheet early on, and she kind of mapped out how many members and how much money we'd have to contribute in order to become accredited investors and to be able to kind of play with the big dogs, right? And so marketing is how we're going to be able to get out there and make that happen. And because the SEC is so crazy, we can't solicit, right? So we can't go out and tell people we're here. But what we can do is we can set up this vendor table, and we can have our signage there, and we can have information where they can go to our website and seek out more information, right? So they're allowed to ask us for information. We just can't give them it unsolicited. So being at events like this is going to be critical for us to get the word out that and it's going to also help us with that buying power. We also talked about, if we're unaccredited, the fact that if we want to get into that IPO into the ICO space, then we may need to be one of the 35 that they're allowed to, 35 unaccredited investors that they're allowed to engage. And so we've got to have our name out there for marketing power and power in our numbers as well. So it's 3,000 is a small amount to get all of that from, in my opinion.
Yeah, and also, you guys certainly talk us up to your friends and family. The best kind of marketing is referral marketing. So, if you feel strongly about BIGI, then certainly share that, because the SEC will not, that's not prohibited by the SEC to share information, member sharing information. So I'm going to move on to the next question. Let's see. Greetings, Rob and Tawana. Glad to have you on board. This is from Rashida Anderson. And she's asking, was Rob previously a BIGI member? And Rob, I'll let you answer that.
Yes, I am.
Yes. Yes, indeed. Okay.
Yeah, Rob comes around from the DU days with the rest of us.
Absolutely. Been here a long time.
From the beginning. Next question from Dr. Keisha. She asked, should we be aware of any limitations on use of the logo?
Dr. Keisha, I think that's a good question. I don't think anyone should utilize the logo without kind of prior permission. We want to control it and make sure we're marketing it properly. So I would say anyone interested in utilizing the logo, just shoot us a note and just tell us what you'd like to do with it. And then we can, discuss it as a membership body. And Dr. Keisha, you're on the marketing committee. We're going to be talking in a little bit. If you've got some ideas on what the limitations should be, I think the marketing committee, we can add that to our agenda tonight to talk about it. But I think that's a valid and wonderful point and question to ask.
So I see here, this is a repeat question, the number of active members of BIGI, and that number was 198. Is that correct?
Yeah, that was the number that has paid. I see Rob sent his email, but I'll look at his email and then we'll shoot something out with the response.
Okay. Next question is from Rashida Anderson. She asked, I have not heard from anyone regarding the accounting committee.
So Rashida, where did you send your request?
So we'll wait for your answer, Rashida. But I will say that, you know, we have asked numerous times for, volunteers for all the committees, including the accounting committee. So if you ask specifically or send an email to one of us regarding the accounting committee, if you could just let us know where you sent it, because, you know, we don't like to miss you guys' inquiry. Certainly not if you want to join one of the committees.
Yeah, and Rashida, I just wrote your name down also, so I'll shoot you an email as well.
Okay. Next question. Is the hotel price for the conference the same for people not currently in BIGI, but looking, I guess, but interested? I'm going to assume that that's what that means. The hotel price, I think, wasn't that hotel price just for people who were coming to the conference?
Yeah, so what should we organize? So keep in mind, and I know because we're all intertwined, sometimes I feel it's necessary to say this. So the conference is a BCI, or Blockchain Consortium International event. BIGI is just a sponsor. So the price for that's listed on the Black Wealth and Blockchain website for the conference is a conference price. So it's for you whether you're a BIGI member or not. It's whether if you're involved with the Black business, or excuse me, the Black blockchain consultants, it is the conference price. So it's a deeply discounted price that Cherie negotiated. And so it's that price for anyone who wants to attend the conference. You do not have to be a BIGI member. You don't have to be a BIGI member to attend. Yeah, you can just be anyone with a desire to learn about blockchain.
Absolutely. Next question. Is there a sign up for volunteers for the conference at tables and such?
So we added in the newsletter. I believe Cherie put it in the last newsletter asking for volunteers at the table. And then also anyone who was interested in being a panelist would need to reach out to Kayron to talk about, you know, what she has planned for the panel, and to see what your background is, to see if you fit the vision that she has for that process. I believe that was in the newsletter. Okay. Just taking a look at it real quick here. I think she put that in. Yeah, in the newsletter, Cherie said, help needed at the conference. We need your help with manning our vendor table. We are also seeking panelists to discuss investing in the blockchain. And actually, she told you to contact me at the vp@bigi.club website. So that's fine. You guys can send that to me if you're interested.
We're in close connection, so.
Yeah.
All right. Next question. Is there a target number of potential members that we hope to attract to BIGI? Will we open enrollment in November? So as for the second question, yes, we will be opening enrollment in November, but that enrollment will not be effective until January. So the opening of the enrollment starts in November, and those members will officially join in January. Now, as for a target number of potential members, do you have that document that Sandra did? I can't remember the number that she said that we needed in order to become accredited. I want to say that she.
Let me try to pull it up real quick.
Okay, because yeah, I mean that there definitely is a target that we're looking at. I don't have that right in front of me, but that's a great question, and I will answer it. Well, Tawana will answer it shortly. And meanwhile, I'm going to go forward. Next question is, I didn't send in the correct link to DocuSign. So I know BIGI doesn't have my complete information. Therefore, am I able to receive a new link and fill out the documents? You know, I think that's something that we probably need to talk about, kind of privately. Yeah, well, if you could reach out to us, we will definitely talk about that talk about that on a private conversation. Let's see. Rashida says she sent an email to me and I've completed a couple forms. Can't remember the title of the forms. Huh. You sent it to me, huh, Rashida? I don't recall. I'm not, not saying that you didn't, but I don't recall. But you know what? If you are interested in being on the accounting committee, I'm happy to have you. So if you reached out to me and somehow, I missed the email or what have you, because it happens sometimes, I'm happy to know now that you would like to be a part of the accounting committee, and we will definitely be reaching out to you.
Yep.
So thank you.
We should have her email in the when she paid the annual membership. We've got that on the master spreadsheet. So I'll shoot a note over and look to see if we've got any more accounting interests, and then I'll actually just send a note to that entire team to welcome them. I'm looking, I remember Sandra's example. I actually took a screenshot the day she did it. So I was looking to see if I could find that screenshot, because she did it like really quick for us right there. And I took a screenshot of it, but I can't find it. I think I take a lot of pictures. I can't have things. I can't find it offhand. But we'll see if we can find it. If not, ask her to put something else together. I do remember we had talked about the fact that to be accredited, we had to get to that. It was it $5 million?
Yes.
Yeah, so it's the $5 million mark, and she did this quick kind of rough and dirty design for us on how to get there, and I cannot remember the amount of people we needed. But I'll write that as a takeaway and see if I can find it. We'll add that in the next information as well with the total members. We'll put that in there.
And I would just ask Sandra, and she probably still has it, so I'll ask her about that as well.
I was looking to see if she was on tonight. No, she's not on with us tonight. Okay.
So let's see. Next question. Have any more questions? Rhonda Harris says that she believes that the number was 300 members.
That sounds like a familiar number.
Okay, so that
right.
That would make us 2/3 of the way there.
Mm-hmm.
So we're really moving. We're moving along in the direction that we want to. Okay. I don't have any more questions. You guys have more questions? You're so quiet. Wait, am I missing any questions here? Oh, wow. All the questions just disappeared.
I've been deleting them as you answer them.
Oh, okay.
So that, because I knew it was hard to keep track of them when you're going in a row.
Okay. I'm like, okay. Now there's even less questions than ever. Okay. All right. Well, I don't see any more questions right now, but I'm sure that somebody's typing questions for us right now. Rhonda Harris says she's driving. Be safe, Rhonda. So yeah, no, you can always email. No, I don't want anybody who's driving trying to type us questions unless you pull over.
Yes. What else? Any other questions? Are there some things you guys, is there anything you guys want us to focus on as we start the process? Oh, Rita said, when we start monthly contributions, will it be catch up or just 1 month amount? It'll just be 1 month amount. We're not going to do catch ups. Yeah, it'll just be the $100 a month once we say it's time.
A minimum of 100.
A minimum of 100, correct.
Rita says, great. Okay, so I see here, I have a website. Am I able to advertise our investment group on it? No, we can't. That's one of the reasons why, we are taking advantage of this partnership with BCI, because we can't do advertising like that. And, they really have us hamstrung in that way. But in order to remain compliant with the SEC and not get into trouble. We can't do that.
Yeah. In the chat, Martha says, will you give us a heads up before you debit the accounts? Yes. So for anyone who completed the automatic debit form in the DocuSign documents, for everyone, we're going to announce when we're going to start the monthly payments. But for anyone who said they wanted it automatically drafted, we will absolutely give you a heads up that that's going to happen. Yeah, we'll make sure we make that big and bright in the newsletter, in ample time before the first payment is taken from you. Martha said, great, I like to keep my checkbook balanced. Me too, Martha, I get it.
Okay, I have a question here from Angela. She asked, are there any investment opportunities that we can look at now? Well, there are some opportunities that we can look at. Actually, Ben had put together a list of investment opportunities for us to consider. But until we have our finances going in the right way, without any issues, then we just kind of put a pause on that temporarily. But I would say probably in the next 4 to 6 weeks, we should be seeing our first investment opportunity.
Yeah, and it doesn't hurt for us to start keeping a list, right? So as you guys come up with things, we're all out there looking at different things and being exposed to different ideas and different projects. As you see something that kind of makes you say, "Ooh, this sounds interesting," write it down, shoot it over. We'll get the hot pitch committee started on researching what it is. It doesn't hurt us to start building that inventory, even if we're not ready to actually make an investment or finalize anything. We can start building that catalog of possibilities even as early as today, even before we have an official committee.
Absolutely. I mean, as we go forward, there may be opportunities that we choose to pass on, but maybe at a later date, we circle back and revisit them. So, that catalog of potential investments is invaluable.
Yeah.
Looking for another question. Now, since we have polo shirts, can we use bumper stickers to attract new recruitments?
Interesting. Okay.
I like bumper stickers. I mean, as long as it was, as long as it caused people's curiosity to ask you, well, what is that? Because once somebody asks us what is that, then all bets are off. We can go in and we can talk all about BIGI. We just can't do that initial, the advertisement. We can't do a mass advertisement, but I like the idea of a bumper sticker.
And if you put the website there on the bumper sticker, then they can log in at their leisure and learn about us on their own. Well, so you've got quite a few of us from the marketing committee on this call. We'll talk about it tonight when we get done with this one. We'll add that to the marketing list.
You just can't be overt with it.
Right, exactly.
Right.
Can't be overt. Yes, absolutely. Let's see here. Since I will not be coming to the conference, what can I do to help make it a success? Well, Gabriel, you can definitely watch the streaming and bring all your friends. You can have a watch party for the conference. Also, you can represent us with your shirt. So we're going to be taking orders for the polo shirt. And, you just like bumper sticker, you walk around with your BIGI shirt. That's also a great advertisement for us. So those are a couple of things that you could do to promote the conference, even though you won't be able to attend.
Yeah, the other thing you can do is to take that conference link and show it on all your social media venues, so that we can fill the house. So please share that link, and people can go to the website and learn more about the conference and purchase their tickets. So that's definitely a way you can help.
Share liberally, absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Don't see any extra questions right now. Let's see here. They're going away by the. Juana, I didn't know you could get rid of the questions like
Yeah,
that.
you can say answered live, and then when you click that, it lets you hit done, and so it takes it off the list so you don't have to read it twice.
Okay. Dr. Keisha just gave us a message, but for some reason I can't see it. Can you see it?
She gave the link to the conference.
Oh, fabulous. I don't know why I can't pull it up.
Thank you, Dr. Keisha. Yeah, she said advertise the event. She gave the link to the website. Hashtag watch party.
Yes. Yes. Watch party. Yes, yes, yes.
What else? Oh, and for the t-shirts, or for the polo shirts. For some reason, these shirts they're not true to size. So we got a couple of samples in, and they are not true to size. They're about one size smaller than you need. And so I recommend, at least for the women's shirts, I'll have to test the men's out, but I recommend having one size larger. So keep that in mind.
What is the price of the shirt, and when do they need to have them ordered?
So the price, if you're coming to the conference, is $35. If you're not able to come to the conference and you want the polo shirt, it's going to be $40. The difference in price is just for the shipping. So that's the reason the prices are different. For the people coming to the conference, they're going to get handed their shirt versus we'll have to coordinate mailing the others. And so if you're going to pre-order, we'd like you to go ahead and pay via PayPal. Cherie, in the newsletter we just received on October 2nd, gives the link for PayPal to go ahead and prepay for your shirt. And we just want you to put polo shirt in the memo so we can, accounting purposes can reconcile properly. And we'd like for that to be done no later than next Friday. So the conference is November 2nd and 3rd. There's a turnaround of about 10 days. And so we'll want to get that in so that they can ship the shirts directly to us at the conference. So I'm going to place the order on Friday. And I'm actually going to place that order no later than noon. So I would say to get that order in before noon Eastern Standard Time on Friday. And for anyone who doesn't, we'll still have a supply, hopefully, if they don't sell out at the conference. So if you can't make it by Friday, it doesn't mean you won't ever get a shirt. We can always do another reorder or something. But it'll be nice to get the first batch off the presses.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So that date would be October the 12th. That's the next Friday. That's that next Friday.
Perfect.
Okie doke. So I'm looking in the Q&A. Let's see here. What about, I have a question here. What about 30-second social media commercials with music background along with a logo? Is that considered an SEC no? I think that we'd be dancing right on the border.
Yeah.
I really don't want to do anything to attract ourselves to the SEC. I would like to stay very far away from them. The SEC, the IRS, all those three-letter scary agencies. I don't want any problems with them. So the commercial, I don't think we should do that.
But I do love that idea to put on our website. I love the idea of the 30-second commercial as a link on the website or when you come into the website. So Lee, I'm not sure what your full name is, but let us, is that something that you're able to do? Do you do that kind of work? And so let's talk a little more about that. Shoot me an email if you'd like at vp@bigi.club, and we can talk a little more about that because we've got someone working on the website right now. For those of you who've been around since the beginning, we had the DUIC website, but we're getting rid of that because that's not who we are anymore. And we've got someone working on a new website for us. And, you know, we would, and we're responsible for the content. So we would love to be able to give her a commercial to add to the site. That would just add a little pizzazz to it. So I love the idea. We just need to control it on our site.
Agreed. Okay, so Lisa says, I'm practicing. You can take the idea and run.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to take a look in the chat. Okay, I have a comment here from Rhonda Harris, and she says, how's the customer service group that I signed up for? So I'm assuming that the customer service group, you probably signed up for that on the old DUIC website, because I don't recall there being a customer service group sign in recently.
We don't have anything called customer service. Now we've got the new member outreach, but we don't have anything called customer service. Rhonda, is that what you're referring to, the new member outreach? And I will say also, so I just got access to the VP emails. So I am going through, just this evening, I logged in for the first time, I'm going through those emails. So if you sent Ben an email and did not get a response, you'll be hearing from me over the next few days because I am going through that email. So, and we apologize for, you know, the delay on getting responses. But now we've got access and we'll start responding going forward. So Cedric, I see you out there. I got your email and I took down your information. So, and there are a few others that I responded to already this evening, people who had questions. So if you sent something to the VP email address, Rhonda, then you'll be hearing from us. But I want to make sure we understand the right group you're interested in. So please clarify which group you're interested in for us.
Okay, I'm looking here through the chat. I have another comment from Rhonda Harris, and she says, I wanted to know the timeliness as to when we will start functioning as an investment club if you have them. So, you know, I'll push back a little bit and say that we have been functioning as an investment club, but, you know, it just takes some time to actually, you know, do what we're doing, because what we're doing is very new. You know, we are not a traditional investment club. There's never been an investment club, to my knowledge, that was focused on blockchain and cryptocurrency. So we had a lot of, you know, hurdles that we had to climb that it's just not typical in the normal club. That being said, you know, one of the last pieces that I see that requires being put into place is having the entity set up correctly, which is what we're doing right now. We have an attorney working on that right now. So once that entity is set up correctly, and you know, we're you know, positive that you know, that everything looks good in terms of, you know, our filings with the SEC and IRS and so on and so forth, we will then start investing. And I said earlier, I would look forward to that within the next 4 to 6 weeks, tops.
And I'll just add again, you guys are going to get so tired of me saying this, but I'm going to keep saying it. You might as well go ahead and get me my t-shirt. I'm going to keep saying it. We can do amazing things faster together, right? So the more people that volunteer, the more we can get done and the faster we can get done. Because sometimes what you don't realize is the smallest thing could take so much time. The marketing committee, we've had, what, 4 calls? Yes. And we're just to the point tonight where we're ready to start actually buying stuff. Yes. After 4 calls. So we've been meeting once a week for the last 4 weeks, and we're just at the point where we're like, okay, let's sign off on these things tonight. So it takes more time than you realize to actually go from idea to execution. And so the more people we have working on things where we can divide and conquer, then the more, you know, the more we'll be able to, in my opinion, accomplish, and the faster we'll be able to do that.
And actually, you know, working together on, you know, whatever aspect or project that you want to work on within BIGI is a requirement of the SEC. So, you know, this is something that, you know, I've said many, many times, but it bears repeating that in this type of club, under the rules of the SEC, every member has to take an active participating role. We are not allowed to have passive members. Passive members put us in a category similar to a mutual fund. And we certainly are not a mutual fund. So, you know, we all have to, you know, have some skin in the game in terms of our participation with BIGI. And that's a legal requirement. Okay. From Robin, she says, congrats to the new officers, you guys rock. Yes, they do, Robin. I agree with you wholeheartedly.
Thank you, Robin.
Thank you.
Okay, let's see what we got here. I'm gonna go back to the Q&A. So Gabriel has a question. He says, if I want to increase my monthly investment, how do I go about doing it? Well, Gabriel, it's really simple. We invest in $100 increments. So the least that you can invest per month is $100. But if you would like to increase that, you can increase it by a $100 increment. So if you want to, you know, invest 200 or 300, as long as that increase is a $100 increment over the base investment, which is $100, then that's fine. It's not a problem at all. And Terrell Hammond says, thanks. And thank you, Terrell. Appreciate it. Okay, so by my clock, I see that it's 8:57, and the marketing committee is going to be meeting at 9 o'clock. So I'm going to just wrap up this last question. I see here from Lee, I previously emailed Ben regarding marketing. Should I wait for a response after you all review the email since he's no longer on, or resubmit? I'll let you take that, Tawana.
So I would say if you shoot me your email address, are you available to talk to us at 9 is the first thing, because we can add you to the list really quick and send you out the email link, and you won't miss another meeting. So if you'd like to do that, we can just do that right now.
Yeah, because our marketing committee meeting starts in approximately 3 minutes. So you can just transition right on into the next meeting if you like, Lee.
So if you want to shoot VP at bigi.club, I've got it open. So if you want to shoot me an email, then I'll make sure I send you the link.
Fabulous. Okay, from Rhonda, is there a deadline to join a committee? Absolutely not. No deadline to join a committee. Please feel free to join. And on that note, I'm going to close the call because you know, I think I'd like to get another glass of water before we go into the next meeting. So anyone else who wants to join us on the marketing committee, can we post that Zoom link now, Tawana?
I don't think you sent the Zoom link, so I'll just go ahead and send it to Lawrence.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. So you've got to send us the Zoom link.
Yes, I do. Okay.
So, yeah, so you got to say goodbye.
All right. Bye-bye. Good night, everybody. Thank you.
Have a good evening, everyone.
Okay.
Bye.